On now for our coaching chat Zoom, and I am pumped. We are starting a new series. I always like new because new always brings momentum. And what we want this series, Britt and I have been talking about doing this series for a while now. And what our goal is for us to come together as a team and literally work together as a team when it comes to our consistency in reaching out to people. And so today, what we're going to talk about, we're going to start this new series called Focus on the Diagnosis. Because when we're talking to people, if we never get to the root of their need, how likely are they going to jump on Juice Plus? Probably pretty slim, wouldn't you say? Because people, you're going to get some people they may buy because you ask them to, but to really get a solid customer, you literally have to discover what their need is. And so what we want to do, and I'm going to share my screen with y'all now, is what we want to do. Well, is begin to, let me get back here to tools. If you go to our website, our Team Extreme website, I'm going to go all the way back. This is our Team Extreme website. You come down here to the tools section. And what we're going to do is begin building out all of these different areas of medical conditions: pregnancy, dermatology, psychiatric care, autoimmune, eye health, anti-aging, chiropractic, men's health, dental health, and the list goes on. I've got several more to add to here. And so if you think of an area, let us know and we will add them to this. So today, we're going to focus on the area of pregnancy. And Brenda and I had fun, I think it was Sunday, pulling this together. But if you've got information on pregnancy, send it to us. Put it in the leadership chat, put it in the coaching chat, send it to me or Brenda. And we're going to keep building this. This is going to keep on growing. It's pretty good size now, but we're going to keep it going. So know that's there. We're going to circle back around. But right now, here's what I want you guys to do. Either just pull out a piece of paper and, okay, now I got to remember, where I put what I want to share with you. All right, I want you guys to pull out a piece of paper and you can either print this off. I'm going to put it on Team Extreme Facebook group. I'll put it on the Voxer chat. But what I want you guys to do, remember last series, we talked about collect, connect, and cultivate. We want to collect names and friends. I say collect friends. Then we want to talk about how do we connect with that person? And then how do we cultivate that and bring that person to becoming a customer and then hopefully a partner. So what I want to see if you guys, I would encourage you to either print these off each week or have a specific notebook. This series is going to go on for a good while. So I want you guys to keep all the information that you're writing down. So whether you print this off each week and I'll make a new one, this one says pregnancy, each week, whatever the topic is, we'll have one you can print out. What I want you to do is there are, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 places for 8 names. What I want you to do right now is take a minute and think about who do you know that is pregnant, wants to be pregnant, or a friend of yours who has a kid who wants to be pregnant, or somebody you've met. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's pregnant. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you an example. One of my daughter's friends came to our house a couple of weeks ago. And as we started talking, she's a NICU nurse. So I just started asking her questions about her job, and I was fascinated. I really wasn't even thinking Juice Plus. But the more she talked, and this is the question I asked that really opened the doors. I said, Bex, I said, so you work in the NICU. Well, here's what happened. She told me she had to, I said, tell me about your trip. She had just come back from 3 weeks in Europe. I said, my gosh, you took 3 weeks off from work. Tell me, why'd you do that? What were you thinking? And she said, honestly, for my own mental health, I had to take 3 weeks off. And I said, and why is that? And she said, I work in NICU and I just constantly am seeing babies die, more die than live. And this was the question that I asked, what do you think the cause of that is? And she said, well, she lives at the hospital she works at. It's a little more wealthy area. She said, most of these moms are older. So a lot of them are doing in vitro, which is going to be a higher risk. They're older, a higher risk. So she begins to tell me, I said, what about preeclampsia? Yes, I see a lot of that. And so what did that just do? It opened up a conversation about Juice Plus. And she's known a little bit. I've talked to her a little bit about Juice Plus, but I began to tell her about Dr. Odom's story. Hopefully most of you guys were on that call hearing Dr. Odom speak. And as I shared with her his findings, it just more questions began to come out. So Bex is not she's not married, she's not wanting to get pregnant, but this information is still very pertinent to her. And she loved, we had such a great exchange. I gave her some of my Juice Plus, and I'm excited to hear, and I'm beginning to hear from her how Juice Plus is beginning to affect her. So I'm using her as an example. So I would put Bex's name right here under collect. So I tell you Bex's story is because I want you to broaden your ideas and say, oh, I don't know anyone who wants to be pregnant or is pregnant. Open up your, just kind of expand your thinking. Do you know any NICU nurses, any labor and delivery nurses? Oh my gosh, I just said that and I thought of one of my other daughter's friends who's a labor and delivery nurse. So who can you get 8 names on this list who maybe is pregnant, works with pregnant women? Maybe there's a doctor, OBGYN doctor you want to talk to. So take a minute now and start writing names down on your collect. What names, what friends are you going to collect this week and talk to?
Oh, and even grandmothers or grandparents of people that
absolutely
they're
grandparents
forward to their grandkids, or their kids are pregnant,
or nieces, nephews.
Mm-hmm.
So think of grandchildren, nieces, nephews, your kids' friends who maybe are thinking about getting pregnant, OBGYN doctors. Any other? Am I missing any others? Throw it out if anyone thinks of more that will help trigger some names for you guys. I gotta just thought of someone else.
One of my customers actually does a ministry to pregnant, or has a business for pregnant women, and for women who want to get pregnant.
Another great idea. All right, as you continue writing, and hopefully as we talk, more names will pop into your mind. Let's try to get 8. So our goal this week is to connect with 8 people in and around the pregnancy category. Okay, so how are you going to connect with them? And I got to show you this, and thank you, Brenda, because Brenda was the person who gave me this as I was kind of processing with her and telling her this story. But take a look at this. I'm going to send to my friend on, can y'all see that? I'm sorry, I'm trying to.
But it says at the top, yeah, same week in pregnancy. From the one on the left is before Juice Plus, and the one on the right is someone that is newly pregnant on Juice Plus.
Oh, interesting.
So this is going to be my connector with my potential customer. And because I know she's beginning to notice this in herself. So think about, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm gonna put that back down and pop this one back up. So think about, as you write the name, what's the connector? So I'm gonna send a text with that and say, check this out. You know, is this an area that you're starting to see a difference in? So think about someone tell me who's on here has a name and an idea of how you're going to connect with that person. Someone share the connector that you're going to connect with your person. What's that icebreaker that's going to bridge between no conversation to getting into a conversation? Any thoughts? Sure, I know somebody's got some thoughts. Karen.
I'll just throw this out there. I've got one of my partners who's actually going to be getting pregnant soon, and I'm going to send her this recording.
Great, great. Okay, so there you go. Thought of you. I was on a call today, thought of you. All right, so I'm going to circle back around. Now, what we're going to go into now is, so we got to get the name. Then how are we going to connect with them? Karen's going to share this video. Then how do we begin to cultivate this conversation into a deeper conversation about Juice Plus? And so here's what we're going to go back into this library now that we have under the tools section, pregnancy. And now let's walk through, we'll spend the rest of our time walking through all of this library of information we have at our fingertips. So we're not thinking, you know, the only thing now we have to do is think of who am I going to talk to and how do I begin the conversation? How do I make that connection with them? And then this is all spelled out for us, easy peasy. So, you know, we could start by, you know, I'm going to take this now and send this to back to us talking to who she's going to love, you know, seeing this information from Dr. Odom. I mean, that's beautiful. And how easy is that to begin cultivating someone's knowledge of Juice Plus? Here's another one. Feed your growing baby with Juice Plus. Just a thought. You could turn around and post these. I love this. Brenda came up. Brenda had, I don't even know where you got this, Brenda, but you are literally 3D printing your baby's brain, central nervous system, gut, eyes, organ, skin. Your baby cells are being formed by how and what you eat.
Wow.
Done that. I mean,
Dr. Bill Sears, I am certified in pregnancy, and this is all information. And that's a great website to go to. Ask Dr. Bill, not only on wanting to get pregnant, on pregnancy, on breastfeeding, on all of it. And nobody endorses Juice Plus more than he does. And he's America's pediatrician.
Love that. And the fact that we can drop big names like that is powerful. Love this one. You know, we've got our brand new bottles. Looks so cool on that. Feeling overwhelmed when making healthy choices during pregnancy and breastfeeding, add more plants into your body. Free radicals cause aging and disease, birth complications, postpartum depression. Just little things like this to grab onto. If you look at these, hopefully what it's going to start doing is triggering people's names. Ooh, I know so-and-so would love to see that. Limit your risk of postpartum depression and anxiety. We hear so much about just mental health these days, what we've all been through over the last 2 years. Imagine then putting pregnancy on top of that, which can have an impact as well.
Yeah, Dr. Sears says that when you're pregnant, you need to be taking at least double Juice Plus because the baby gets the whole first set. Because the baby gets what they do first. And if you're nourishing yourself as a pregnant mom afterwards, that's when you're not getting that is when you go into postpartum depression. But literally taking Juice Plus twice a day pretty much ensures that you won't deal with that.
So maybe there's a whole nother category who's just had a baby that you could reach out to. Here's another one, the difference between folic and folic acid. Great conversation starter on that topic.
That again, Juice Plus addresses with our lemon peel, which is huge.
Yeah, yeah. Done with whole food, which is 100% absorbable. Here's a video from Dr. Doug Odom. I love this. I think I need to make this a little brighter. I love this. Brenda had this. I had this, but I love how this one that Brenda just sent me. So if you've got good pregnancy stuff, send it in so we can keep building this library. Brenda, what was it on this again? I forget
It
what
says, he's just talking about the difference between prenatals, which we know the prenatals, the last study that was done on them was done in Europe in the 40s.
Mm.
And so what we know with Juice Plus is that we're not getting that kind of food. He says the recommendation to take prenatal vitamins during pregnancy isn't based on blood studies. It's basically a good guess. But he says everyone that I've measured blood folic acid, which we talked about just now, on taking Juice Plus have very high levels of that vitamin. The 4 capsules, all 4 blends contain 400 to 800 micrograms of folic acid and happens to be the most available form in whole food. There's nothing else like it you're going to find anywhere else.
great resources at our fingertips.
Juliana Jacobs has a great one
Everybody,
too.
good morning from View.
Here's another one from Casely Schlotz, who's a pharmacist, talking about taking Juice Plus as a prenatal. And there's, you can see on there also is Dr. Mitra Ray. I think that one's a pretty, yeah, this one's only a 4-minute video to share with somebody.
Mhm.
Love this cute little post.
She's a Juice Plus NMD, and this was with her 4th baby, Alexis Busselman. She's amazing, and just showing. Look at that, 9 months after her 4th baby. Yeah, and actually, her brother is the Olympic swimmer that it takes Juice Plus. That's on a lot of our ads. She grew up taking Juice Plus, but she says she's been doubling and tripling Juice Plus for the last 5 years because she's been pregnant or nursing the entire time.
Love, so cute.
Adorable.
Let's see, what's next?
Well,
Okay.
welcome, everybody. We are
We've got, this one's called the plant powders in pregnancy. You know, let's all take one of them. Mara, I believe, Mara, you put this article in here. So thank you, about the womb, your mother and yourself, and the impact of eating has on our baby and future generations. Here's another one, Dr. Odom, which is another Vine Ripened Babies.
Here we go. Hello.
Here's another one on optimal pregnancy before, or optimal nourishment before, during, and after pregnancy. I mean, there's so much on here. This I use a lot. It's from Dr. Mitra Ray, and it's Eating for Two. And it's a whole booklet that you can give somebody who's pregnant. And she obviously incorporates Juice Plus. She evaluates prenatals and incorporates Juice Plus into her prenatal care. It's a fabulous, well done, very professional document that I think is just an incredible tool to give to potential people who are pregnant. Let me see. Okay. Another here is fruits and vegetables reduce the chance of miscarriage. You know, I think sometimes it's great when we give documentation and research that really isn't a Juice Plus document, but it so comes behind us and proves that what we're doing with Juice Plus is so impactful.
And if you read the first line, the consumption of fruits and vegetables during pregnancy can reduce the chance of a miscarriage. And that was it was not even a Juice Plus study.
So I think so many times people underestimate the power of nutrition. And so that's what we want to do is educate. We are educators. So
And one of the things, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elaine, but one of the things that we're hearing, even from young, healthy people, is that they're having trouble getting pregnant. Or if they get pregnant, that they're having trouble keeping the pregnancy. So that's, you
And-
never know.
Exactly. And here, these are notes you can see back from 2005, 2007. I used to go hear a man by the name of a doctor by the name of Mark Perlow, and he was an OBGYN and he focused on infertility. I absolutely loved hearing this guy talk. He would just sit up at the front of the room on a stool and just share what he had seen with his clients. And he would say, I always started them out on Juice Plus because so many of the issues were nutrition related. So I had to rule out nutrition first. And I did that with Juice Plus. Once they were on Juice Plus, 6-9 months in, if they still weren't able to get pregnant, then I knew we had a more serious problem. So this, if you're dealing with people who have issues with infertility, this is a great, great thing to share with them from a doctor who specialized in infertility.
And Elaine, I remember
Everyone, well,
years ago, didn't you also share from him that it was as important and maybe even more important for the husband to be on Juice Plus too?
Absolutely. He talked about that it wasn't just the wife or the woman, it was both of them that needed to be on it, 50-50. Here's another one, pregnancy, nursing, and nutrition. I have a lot of videos here, even though, so we've got 3 OBGYN doctors, just short little snippets. They really don't go into saying anything about pregnancy on these, but I just think they're so, they bring validity to this whole area of pregnancy and what Juice Plus can do. And so I think we have them in there that are just kind of short to say, yes, OBGYNs fully believe in Juice Plus and the nutrition it can provide. Here's another one. Brenda, you want to talk about
Yeah,
this?
this is one of my favorites where Dr. And actually I showed a clip of this maybe a couple of months ago from Dr. Sears, where he's just talking about, you know, what it's like to be pregnant on Juice Plus and how it helps and what you're doing for your growing baby, that they taste, and they already, Juice Plus mamas, when their babies are born, they already have an affinity and a taste for fruits and vegetables. And they usually are in utero for an extra week, and that's all brain development. And he's just teaching in here. It's so friendly and so powerful as a father of 8 and someone who's been recommending Juice Plus for almost as long as Juice Plus has been out. And he's been a pediatrician for 30 years. And it's just really, truly one of my favorite. I love everything he does, but this is one of my favorites.
All right. Here's another one from, let's see, Valerie Miles, who is a pediatrician, talking about Strong Start, ripple effect, and the next generation. You know, and I think having both written and videos are good, because people are different. Some people like to read, some people like to listen. So I think a mix, and some people are very visual. So I think a mix of all of this is of value. So if you guys have things, please, by all means, you know, send it to us. This is really old. A long time ago, Juice Plus would put out, you know, a quarterly newsletter. And I love this one, and it featured Dr. Doug Odom just talking about Juice Plus and pregnancy. There's his story of kind of what took place back then. And then even Dr. Paul Stricker, who is sports medicine pediatrician. So there's another great thing to share that's been around for a long time. Sometimes we shy away when things are older, but I also think there's value to those doctors are still, what are we, you know, 15 years later, they're still promoting Juice Plus and the value of Juice Plus. Okay, so there is a video. There's something I need to go back and fix. Sorry about that. Here's another one from Tamara Hunter on infertility. That looks like that's about a 35-minute call. I've watched that many years ago, and it's really a really good call as well. Let's see what's coming up next. Another short one by another OBGYN. Doesn't say a whole lot about pregnancy, but just the validity of having a doctor supporting Juice Plus in that field, I think again says a lot.
Yeah, and it's like a minute and a half. It's super brief, but it's so powerful.
So, yeah, and here's really a cute, love this visual that we found, that just showing the foods rich in folate that mothers need, and so many of them are obviously in our Juice Plus product. So lots and lots to pick from there. So the challenge, I'm going to stop sharing now, is how many people have 5 names on their pregnancy list already? All right, 5. Okay, who else? Anybody? All right, tell me what resonated with you. Anybody, what resonated with you by looking at that vast reservoir of information? Who's going to share what? Allison?
Well, a friend of mine that's an OBGYN at church, I actually delivered my babies at his practice. He didn't deliver them, but I've mentioned Juice Plus a while back. But I thought, what a great time to circle back around. And I liked your verbiage of saying, I was on a call today, or I was looking at this information today, and you came to mind.
I think, I don't care who you are, we all love to be thought about. Most of us, we're always thinking of ourselves, but when someone says, hey, this happened and I thought of you, who's not going to perk up to that? So I think that's easy verbiage, and it's true. You were on a call, it was on pregnancy, and I thought about you, and I wanted to reach out to you. Would you be interested if I shared something with you? Would you be interested in just taking a look at it? Who's going to say no? And most likely they're not going to think you're going to follow up with them, but that'll give you a second chance to connect.
And I love the question, are you open? Because nobody wants to be closed.
Are you open? I love that. Okay,
Just
some
more information.
more verbiage. Dale.
I wanted to share, there's an excellent video that you don't have yet on there called Comparing Prenatals with Juliana Jacobs.
Would you just send that? Yeah, would you send that to us and we'll get it on there?
Because she actually got samples of all the different prenatals from her doctor and put them in oatmeal and mixed them up to, she says, real things do things. And none of them did anything except the Juice Plus.
I love that.
So it's a real visual, that it's bioavailable. It's going to get in there. It's going to make a difference.
Did you guys write? That was great, Dale. Real things do real things.
Sure.
That's great. Okay, thank you. Please send that to me, Dale, and we'll get that added. Who else has some thoughts that triggered of who you want to talk to and what you want to share and what you want to say? Ah, come on. Am I that boring? Come on, someone's got surely something triggered as we were going through that of who you want to talk to and what you want to share with them. Come on. I talk too much. Let me hear from you.
I'll share, Elaine.
Go, Lindsay.
Thank you, Lindsay.
And Hazel.
Yes, Hazel, she's sleeping. But being that I just, had a baby not that long ago, just knowing what I went through using Juice Plus as my prenatal and not experiencing all the negative things of pregnancy and postpartum, just seeing now that, look, I have written proof, videos that my testimony is being backed up by.
Well, now that you just said that, Lindsay, I would love for you to do a short, she's like, Elaine, you always do this to me. I would love for you to have just a short little clip of your experience and the impact that Juice Plus had on you. I would love that. And we'll put that in there and we can grab it. It's always good when we could say, I'd love for you to hear from my friend Lindsay.
Mhm.
You know, when you've got a personal relationship with somebody who's talking, that's powerful. So we would love for you to do that for us and add that to the call to our library.
You know what, Caitlin Cobb, that made me think about Caitlin Cobb posted something when she's cute and pregnant, which she's been for the last 6 years. She has a cute video of her pregnant doing that little science experiment with Juice Plus and a prenatal vitamin and how the Juice Plus in the oatmeal or something like that.
Okay,
Anyway.
would you get that
Yes.
for us, Allison? All right, we're gonna keep building this so that, I mean, we've got anything we need when connecting with pregnant people. Who else? Thoughts? We're almost done here. Thoughts, comments? What
Another
triggered
great
you on?
resource in the Juice Plus world is Jenna Rude, who is
Mm.
Tony Ranner's daughter. Got her Juice Plus for her 18th birthday. She wanted an iPod, but she got Juice Plus. But she was able to go back, use it all the way through college, and married her college sweetheart, and has been able to go right, became one of the youngest NMDs, and now just had her second baby. And she is a wealth of knowledge. It's I think it's called Health Made Simple. Anyway, it's Jenna Rude, RUDE, and she's an incredible person to follow because she completely plant-based.
All right, so thank you, Brenda. Okay, so closing out, we want 8 names somehow related to pregnancy that you can take this information and send it out this week. So can I get, what I want to say, can I get an amen? Can I get you guys to do that? And come back next week and let's share some of the things, some of the conversations that we had, and let's utilize, everybody knows where to go get this information. Yes, if not, put a note in here and maybe someone can type in our Team Extreme website so that everyone knows where to go to get this information. And each week, what we're going to do is pick a select area from a medical standpoint, and we're going to fill it full of information so that we have no excuses other than ourselves.
And we have an incredible resource right here in this group with Erin, who is a doula and so knowledgeable about all of that. So, and there's
Yeah, so Erin, if you want to do a little video for us, we'd love to have that and put that in there as well.
she's my
All
resource
right.
I go to constantly.
All right, I got Erin. I got Erin, Lindsay, Allison, you're gonna get from Caitlin, and
Wow.
Dale. Dale, you're gonna send us, did Dale leave? Oh, well, I got her. No, she's there. Dale's gonna send us that comparison of prenatals. All right, guys,
Yeah.
we've got our marching orders. Let's make it an awesome week. Not to mention, you know, we talked about this in the leadership call, is free partnerships for the month of September.
Zero risk,
0 risk.
no downside.
Let's bring on some partners. And you know, who better than people who've just had a baby? Maybe they don't want to go back to work. What $500, $1,000 a month could change, could allow somebody to stay at home and enjoy their new baby. So
And 95% of all bankruptcies could be completely alleviated with an extra $500 a month.
So your list, maybe this list is your pregnancy connections. You got this whole side to connect with people about the business. All right, so let's go.
Let's go. I knew you were going there.
Let's make it a phenomenal week, you guys. Thanks for being on the call. We appreciate you guys so much.
Where can that list be found?
This form,
Yes.
yeah, I'll post it under the post about the call today. I'll post it in the comments section.
Okay.
All right, guys, thanks so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, thank you.